I'm Makis Papadopoulos. I'm winemaker at Wynard Estate. Wynard Estate is located in Drama, and it was founded in 1995. It is owned by two men, Yannis Papadopoulos, who happens to be my father, a civil engineer by profession, and Yannis Kalaitsidis, who is an architect. So none of them was directly related to the wine business, and it all started as a hobby, but turned out to be a full-time job after a couple of years. At first, they wanted to make their own wine. They soon realized that in order to do so, they needed the necessary equipment and the infrastructures. So they've decided to invest, and the winery was built step by step. And in 2007, we constructed the part that is across the road. So now the winery is divided in two parts, which are connected to each other with an underground tunnel. We are producing white, rosé, and red wines. We first started with international varieties like Sauvignon Blanc, Cabernet Sauvignon, Chardonnay, but over the last years we have also been focusing on Greek varieties too, like Malagousia or Assyrtiko. Over the last 20 years, our wines have won many awards in various international competitions. I think there are more than 300 now. Well, like every other winery of the region, when we first started, we all started with cosmopolitan, mostly French, I would say, varieties, like Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot. We wanted to prove that we could produce high-quality wines made of well-known varieties. Over the last 15 years, though, we have all been also focusing on indigenous varieties because we want to explore the potential of the Greek varieties like Malagousia, Assyrtiko, Agiourgitiko, and Limiona. We definitely see the impact of climate change, as when we first started, we were harvesting in September, while last year we harvested in the 6th of August, which is like a month difference. So climate change is here, and we are trying to figure out ways in order to compensate this climate change. So one solution is to go higher. And towards that direction, we are planning to plant a new vineyard, which will be the highest vineyard in Greece at 1,200 meters above sea level. So over there, we are hoping to get wines made, first of all, from Sauvignon Blanc, that will be fresher and they will have more delicate aromas. I was kind of destined to follow this path when my father started this venture. So at first I went to study chemistry at the University of Thessaloniki here in Greece, and then I went to Bordeaux, France in order to study enology. Drama is a region that was well known since the ancient time for the cultivation of the vines and winemaking process. It is considered by some people as the birthplace of god Dionysus. Also, the ruins of an ancient temple dedicated to Dionysus have been found at an area which is around 20 miles from the city of Drama. It is called Kalivrisi. And nowadays, Drama is one of the most well-known viticultural and winemaking zones within Greece. My philosophy on winemaking, I want to produce high-quality wines with the minimum intervention. That doesn't mean that whenever I have to intervene in order to improve the quality of a wine, I won't do it. I would definitely do it without any hesitation. And also, I want to be consistent from one year to another. So I want to meet our quality standards. When we're talking about the terroir, it's not just the soil. It's a sum of different parameters like the soil, of course, the microclimate, and the altitude of the vineyard. So All these parameters have their role in the determination of the terroir of a wine. Our soils are mostly characterized by the presence of clay, but we also have, what we're trying to do is to explore the different terroirs within the prefecture and the wider region of Drama. So our vineyard is not at one place. We have planted at different spots within the wider region of Drama in order to explore different types of terroirs. We have planted at low altitude, at higher altitude, at medium altitude, at clay soil, at calcareous soil. So my hobbies, of course, first of all, I'd like to spend time with my family. I like go for spearfishing, I like play the guitar, and that's pretty much it. It's the small decisions that you have to make every day that will have a big impact in the quality of the final product. So quality hides behind the small details. Like I said, we all started with international varieties at first. But then we have all planted indigenous varieties. Our winery, other than Greek varieties, currently is experimenting with international but strange to Greece varieties, like Nebbiolo, for instance, or Touriga Nacional, because we want to prove to ourselves first that we are able to produce high-quality wines made of these varieties. Okay, what keeps me interested in making wine? I would say it's two things. The first one is that, of course, I want to improve the quality of our existing wines by changing, small things from one year to another, like the temperature of the alcoholic fermentation, for instance, and then see the impact in the quality of the wine produced. The other thing is by experimenting with new varieties. So as a winery, we are planting constantly small parts of different varieties, and we vinify the grapes and see the final result. So if it pleases us, we move on to the next step, which is to put this wine to the market. And this is the big challenge for me, to experiment with new. It's not an easy thing. And it takes a lot of time, because at first you have to plant, then you have to wait for 3 years or so, then you have to vinify and wait more for a longer period of time. So it takes a lot of time. But we experiment a lot. The production of the winery is around 300,000 bottles a year of red, rosé and white wines. We are currently exporting 40% of our total production. A big part has been exported to the European market, but the US market is also a big market for us. We're very excited that you can find our wines on GreekWineTrips.com.